And we welcome you to the Plymouth Ice Center here in Plymouth, Minnesota, as we get ready to go with our final day of the Tradition at the Park tournament. Today it is the Centennial Cougars taking on the Cloquet-Esko-Carlton Lumberjacks. Both of these teams are 0-2 on the tournament so far, and we'll get you caught up a little bit about both teams and the results that they've had. But both of these teams looking to come home with, or go home rather, with a victory on the tournament, and neither team has looked really particularly good in any of the games so far that they've played in. So it will be a test today. Both these teams pretty evenly matched, I'd say, going in, but they have not found the stride that they are looking to hit here at this point of the Tradition at the PIC tournament. So Cougars and Centennial, or Cougars of Centennial and the Lumberjacks of Cloquet-Esko-Carlton as we get ready to go. The starting goalies for today's game for Cloquet-Esko-Carlton, they will go with Owen Carlson in net, and the Cougars will go with Leo Troge. So we will get ready to go here at center ice as we kick off our third and final day here at the Plymouth Ice Center Tradition at the Park tournament. It's been a great environment here in Plymouth so far, and been really a fun days of hockey, and looking forward to finishing it out here with some good ones. I have a couple more good ones tonight, and we did have our first game of the day that got moved over to St. Louis Park. That would be Hill Murray and St. Michael Albertville. They're playing over on the East Rink. If you're looking for that game and wondering what happened, you can find it on our MN Hockey TV 2 YouTube channel. It's an automated camera with no announcer, but they do have at least the live camera up there. Here's Centennial with a quick wrister. That misses the mark as it's gathered in by Munson, redirected towards the goal, but now played up along the wall. Fought off there by Carlson as the Lumberjacks try and move it up to center. Lumberjacks coming into the day have lost both of their games. They lost 5-3 to Blaine and then 6-1 to Hill Murray last night. So looking to turn the corner. They have now lost 3 in a row after winning 4 straight. Here's a chance in the slot. Nice move there, and the finish couldn't be buried by Centennial's number 23, A.J. Carls. This is the line out there right now for the Cougars. Here's a chance now up at the point. Played up along the wall, and now bumped up to the point. Here's a wrist shot blocked there by the Lumberjacks in front as it's moved out of the zone by Durand. Lumberjacks will make some changes as the Cougars move back up ice. Here's Tommy Carls into the zone. He's bumped off the puck. Nice hit there from the Cloquet captain, Jake Utah. He scored the lone goal yesterday for the Lumberjacks in their loss to Hill Murray. Here's a shot and a save as we get the whistle for the stoppage. 14:53 here to go in the first period. Some of the results from earlier today around the state of hockey over at the St. Louis Park Rec Center. Rosemont and Elk River. Rosemont with a 3-0 win over the Elk River Elks. So Rosemont goes home with a 2-1 record. They lost to Andover, but they go home with 2-1. Shot there turned aside by Carlson. And then Eden Prairie, the number 1 team in the state, lost today in their first loss of the year. They lost to Moorhead 3-2 in overtime at the Hockey for Life Classic. And Eden Prairie actually went to overtime all 3 games of the Hockey for Life Classic. We have a player shaken up for Centennial down in the far corner. He was hit really hard and hunched over trying to get to the bench there. Looks like that is Sam Munson for the Cougars, the defenseman. We'll keep an eye on him, and hopefully he's all right. Getting checked up now on the Cougar bench by the coaching staff and the trainers. Face off outside the zone now of Centennial to be sent into the corner as the Lumberjacks will have to play it out. Nice touch pass off the tape there of Christian Gallitz, who's been really good for the Lumberjacks in this tournament. Swung up to the line, but not out as it's kept in, and a big hip check delivered there as the Lumberjacks try and play it out again. Nice move up the boards by Aaron Moore. Here's Moore, quick snapper into the glove, and that gets the whistle with 13:48 left in the first. 2 shots on goal so far for both of these teams here in the first few minutes of this contest. Lumberjacks will have an offensive zone face-off. Christian Gallitz will be the one to take it for Cloquet as it's moved back behind the net now. Aaron Moore, feed right out in front. Moore had it just roll off his tape as he follows it into the corner and back up to the point. Wrist shot banked off the boards and played up to the left wall. Moved out of the zone here by the Cougars. Here comes Centennial now, a dump in and off the boards again. If you were watching any of our coverage yesterday, that was a huge problem for the team that was defending on the left side of the rink. And seems to be that that's going to be a problem again here today. Into the corner now as the Lumberjacks try and grab possession of it here as they have it in the offensive zone, quickly escorted out of the zone. Here come the Cougars across the line. Into the zone is Henry Bartle. Feed right out in front, and it missed the mark. Just a little bit wide on the shot there. Now Everson in front. That one fired wide by Bartle again as the original shot came from Matt Everson at the point for the Cougars. Now right out the up and out of play here with 12:40 to go in the first frame. Centennial coming into today, they were 3-1 at one point in the season, but they've now lost 5 straight games, and they had a 3-game losing streak coming into this tournament with Maple Grove, Duluth East, and Andover. And then the 2 losses to Cretin-Derham Hall and Blake have sent the Cougars back to the a 5-loss streak here. And that has not been what they imagined, and it really all started with that Maple Grove game. At the time, Maple Grove was the 2nd-ranked team in the state, and really ever since that game where they almost knocked them off in overtime, it has been a real struggle for the Cougars to try and figure out their identity, really. And still a lot of time left in the season, but the Cougars are no doubt playing their worst hockey of the season as of late. I'll try and get it back on track here today against the Cloquet-Esko-Carlton Lumberjacks. Now kept in by the Cougars right at the line. Moved into the zone by Ankrum as it's off the glass and fired back around up the boards. Gallitz laid out on the ice, or rather that was Brock House for the Lumberjacks. In front, whacked away just wide of the left post. There's a chance in front again, but a big check delivered, and that puck will come out of the zone here as it's connecting with the Centennial defense. 11:50 to go in our first period of play. Tipped up into the zone. This will not be an icing as the official waves it off. Cade Anderson and fanned on the clearing attempt, kept in. Carl swings it across, was searching for A.J. Carls that time in the corner. Now out in front again, and this will be held on the glove there by the goaltender for Cloquet. Owen Carlson, number 30, getting the start here tonight. Carlson did not get the start last night. That was Jacob Walsh that did but for Cloquet. But after surrendering 4 goals, they put Carlson in, and he let up 2 for Cloquet last night in the 6-1 loss to the Hill Murray Pioneers, who are one of the best teams in boys AA right now. Always tough to go against them. Now Christian Gallitz will come into the zone. Nice maneuver, but broken up by the Cougars as it's played up through center. Right at the line, Tommy Carls dishes it off for A.J. Carls. And A.J. will play it up ahead into the zone now. Here's another A.J. Lemire. And now Carls will take it and dish it off again at the point. Here's a quick snapper, and it's in! Snuck right in And Centennial is on the board first here, 1-0, as we'll see if we can get this one on replay. Just a quick little snapshot there.
23-8-15.
That snuck in for the Cougars. So it doesn't look like we're going to be able to pull up that replay, but that one just snuck right through the wickets of the goaltender Carlson, and Centennial has the first goal of this game here, just about 6 minutes in to this contest. So Cougars strike first as they look for more in the slot. This one dropped back, but nothing doing there, as now the Lumberjacks will play it back out through center. Get the scoring line here. So the scoring line there for the Cougars on that goal, that was A.J. Carls from Connor Thompson and Tommy Carls. So A.J. Carls with the goal to give Centennial the 1-0 lead here. Still early in this first period, we get an offsides call at the line, and so held on to for the stoppage. Or blown dead, rather. Face-off will be just outside the Lumberjack zone. 10:06 to go in our first frame. This is day number 3 of the Tradition at the PIC Tournament. It's been a fun event here in Plymouth. And we've got a couple more good games here to go tonight, as Cretin-Derham Hall will take on Blake at 5. Raiders, one of the hottest teams in the state right now. And they will play Blake at 5. And then our next game will be Wayzata and Blaine, another really hot team in Wayzata, taking on Blaine, who lost to the Raiders of Cretin-Derham Hall yesterday, 8-4. Sticked away. Big windup now at the point as that one sails wide of the mark. That was off the stick of Jackson Oches for Cloquet. Now here's more with the snapper, and fought off again by Leo Troge. And now it'll be played down low as it's flipped back behind the goal line. Up along the wall now. Lumberjacks trying to get it out of the zone. Chopped up there, right up at the wall. Diving effort there from Centennial's number 9, Jake Pearson, but can't keep it in. This one blown dead by the officials on the offside. So that will stop the clock at 8:54 to go here in the first. About halfway through our opening frame between Centennial and Cloquet-Esko-Carlton. Both teams again trying to search for their first win of this tournament, as they lost their first 2 games. Centennial lost to Cretin-Derham Hall and Blake, and the Lumberjacks of Cloquet-Esko-Carlton lost to Blaine and Hill-Murray. This one backhanded up the boards, but kept in at the point. Big wrister and sticked away by Troge, who made the stop. Back down low to the other side. Up along the boards now as it's played by the Cougars. Lumberjacks just missed the pass. That one was intended for Braden Timon. Now Borkowski takes a big ride up along the boards as he collided up along the wall, and now played at center by the Lumberjacks. New Power lunging to try and move it back up the ice, and now it will come. Drop pass here. Ankrum looking for a lane, and gets taken down to the ice. Big hit there as the Lumberjacks come the other way. Here is Durand with speed. Leaves it. Rister missed the net as it's kept in right at the line. Jake Utah back behind the goal. Up to the boards where Jordan Newpower will play it. Newpower had the only goal in the Cougars' loss to Cretin-Derham Hall on Thursday. Kept in at the line, nice job. Christian Gallitz in the slot, save there, rebound. Also stopped as Gallitz goes down, and the official blows it dead here with 7:19 to go in our first frame. Face-off in the offensive zone here for the Lumberjacks right off the draw. Gallitz tried to get a shot, but nothing doing there. Moore with the shot, and it's sticked away to the corner by Leo Troge. Pinned up along the wall, and a big hit there as that puck will emerge free for Tommy Carls. Just under 7 to play here in our first frame. Now across the line. Here's Thompson, nice move, and fought off. And now it will be blown dead for a stoppage with 6:50 as a net came off its moorings there. Owen Carlson fighting that one off for the Cougars, or for the Lumberjacks rather, on the Cougars attempt. 6:50 to go in the first. Both teams will make a couple of last-minute line changes here. The Lumberjacks will get a new forward unit out, and Centennial will just switch up everybody. So this will be the Jake Pearson line, or the line centered by Jake Pearson for Centennial. Off the draw, backhanded back around to the boards, where it's played now by Centennial. Right at the line as they come right back into the zone. No, they are offside, says the linesman. Nice job there at the line. 6:38 to go in the first. And mentioned that upset win earlier in the Hockey for Life Classic over at Prior Lake between Eden Prairie and Moorhead. Moorhead, the Spuds, with a big win, and they moved, or they knocked off Eden Prairie in overtime 3-2. That was the Eagles' first loss of the season today. Almost took them to the new year, but the Eagles finally lose their first game, and so now the only team unbeaten, and I may be incorrect, but prior to the weekend it was White Bear Lake, and I'm not sure, haven't checked the results of their holiday tournament, but them and Eden Prairie were the only two teams that hadn't lost a game yet in AA, and that is bound to change with Eden Prairie losing. Holy Angels was up there as well, but they did lose to Holy Family in the Catholic Cup Showcase last weekend. Cougars will pick it up here and try and move it up out of the zone as it's taken a hold of by Cade Anderson. Moves it up ahead for Timon and into the zone. Troge will come and chop it off. Gave it away on the backhand and fought off by Troge. Nice stop there. He had a giveaway right there for Wyatt Mrozek. And let's take a look at that opportunity again here on replay. See it come into the zone, and then that's where that stop occurs. Nice job by Troge to get back in position for the stoppage. Here's a quick shot from Gallitz, and it's scooped in and held, but a little late whack there. And we'll stop the clock at 5:22 to go in the first. Looking at the upcoming schedule for the Centennial Cougars, you will have a home game next against Bloomington Jefferson on Thursday. Hard to believe it's about to be the new year. January 1st coming up here on Wednesday. This one gloved again, but they have not had a home game at the Super Rink, or they've not really had actually a whole home game the whole year, because they played a Roseau in a neutral site game on the 30th that they lost 3-1. And then looking at their other results, they played at Osseo, at Elk River, at Champlain Park, and then at Maple Grove, Duluth East, Andover. So they really haven't had a true home game yet, oddly enough, in the year, which is very strange. They really are saving all their home games for 2020, but they'll open up with 4 straight at home. Here's a chance in front. That's saved by Carlson. 4:50 to go in the period. Dished up the boards. Gallitz trying to whack away. Right at the line. Taken now as Anderson charges towards the goal area. Anderson on the backhand pass into the corner now. Gallitz will play it here. Big drive from the point. Was turned aside. That was Aaron Moore who had the big windup. Now up the boards, A.J. Carls, the goal scorer. Carls inside and fought off there by Carlson. Lumberjacks take a hold of it as it will be played up at the Centennial zone. Now they will break out. Everson across the line. Flipped up into the zone and scooped to the corner nicely there by Carlson. This one will be off the stick of a player on the Cloquet bench, so we get a stoppage here. 4 minutes to go exactly in our first period. The only goal right now of the game coming from Centennial's A.J. Carls. That was assisted by Connor Thompson and Tommy Carls. So that's your scoring summary so far. From the Lumberjacks into the zone, Durand with a shot scooped up again by the Centennial goalkeeper, Leo Troge. These are both goalies who played a little bit yesterday, and Troge actually came out of the game for a little bit for Centennial. That was after the Cougars went behind 4-0 against Blake, and then he played about the rest of the period and a little bit of the second before being taken out in favor of Jack Fuller, and then he came back in. So interesting situation there for Centennial, but they have faith in going back to him today. Meanwhile, Carlson did not start yesterday, but was put in as part of the replacement there for Jacob Walsh, who was pulled also after giving up the 4th goal for the Lumberjacks. So both teams had some goaltending problems yesterday. Now here's a giveaway in front and fought off and blown dead with 3:08 to go. I don't know how that puck stayed out of the net, but the official has his arm up for a penalty. See if we can take a look at it here. This all happened right in front of the net, and I believe there's going to be a penalty against Centennial on that trip there, as you see as the player went down. So that will be on Howell for Centennial. Clock stopped with 3:09, and Centennial will go on the penalty kill here. Lumberjacks power play. See what they can do with this opportunity now. Trying to even this game up. Held on to at the point, fanned on the dump attempt down low, and this will be cleared by the Cougars. It's Carlson to cut it off now, and it'll be left back behind the goal for Caden Crane. Now Crane drops it off to Christian Gallitz across the line. Held on to Gallitz up top, moves it over on the left side, back up to the point. Crane with a drive. That was actually Gallitz who moved it towards the goal off the pass from Crane. Now Gallitz and the Cougars able to get it down once again here. Carlson will throw this right up the wall to Gallitz. Bumped up into the zone, and taken down was a Centennial player. Here's a chance in front, they score! Power play goal for the Lumberjacks. It's like it was Christian Gallitz that got the goal as he scooped it up in front. Let's take a look here on a replay. You see Gallitz comes to that loose puck and then fires it into the back of the net for the goal. So Gallitz getting the power play goal. And that will be a big goal for the Cloquet-Esko-Carlton Lumberjacks, who get this game evened up here before the end of the first intermission. So nice job by them too. Now it's played up the boards. This will be not an ice as it will roll right to Leo Troge. Sticked away on the side. Here's a chance right out in front, and a man taken down. No penalty called, though. That definitely could have been a trip against Centennial, but instead we play on. At the point now, moved down low into the corner by the Cloquet-Esko-Carlton Lumberjacks. That was A nice move into the corner, and now the physicality starting to ramp up a bit here. Banked out of the zone. Played at the line as the Lumberjacks try and scoot it into the offensive zone. 1:07 to go in the first period now. Dished off on the side, fired into the zone by Mrozik, and Troj will come and get it out. Wrister down, and this will be cut off by Troj again. 50 to go in the period. Here's Gallitz with the goal, or with the puck. He did have the goal that evened up this game for the Lumberjacks. And tie up there, just kept in, no more. Lost it at the line, so that will stop the clock with 33.7 to go. Both teams will get ready to play here the final 33.7 of the period as you get a look at the Centennial bench there. Fired into the corner as it's left back, or thrown rather, to the corner by Troj. Had to get right back in position for that one. And now up along the boards. Cougars trying to work here. Nice job by Centennial as they look to move it up. One last chance for them to try and get their lead back. Across the line, dished off for Carls. They're offsides with 8.9. This has been a good game so far. Lumberjacks evening it up on a power play goal from Christian Gallitz. And that is where we stand right now. I'll take you through the scoring summary in a minute. Here is Carls into the zone. Wrister, glove save, and held on to for the whistle. .6 to go in the period. And that will take us to our first intermission with the Cloquet-Esko-Carlton Lumberjacks and the Centennial Cougars tied at 1 after 1. So the scoring summary in that period, the Cougars got the first goal of the game from A.J. Carls. That was assisted by Thompson and Tommy Carls. And then it was a power play goal for Christian Gallitz. That made it 1-1 at the end here of the first period. So we'll step aside. You're watching the Tradition at the PIC Tournament, Centennial and Cloquet. We'll be back for period 2 after this.
I think that being in a sport, it has built into it the concept that we are going to face a challenge. When we do sport the right way, we are teaching values. We're teaching kids how to be hard workers. We're teaching kids how to be courageous, to be fearless. Dynamite's, because we have a focus on whole life youth development, physical, academic, social and spiritual excellence, we get that we're trying to develop people to be whole people. And I think that when you combine that mission with sport, I think you naturally get that. We have programs in each of those 4 areas. We have ice hockey for physical excellence. Academic excellence includes academic support like one-on-one tutoring. We have a summer academic camp. Social excellence includes our big community service project, Greg Carroll Learn to Skate, and also we're faith-based. So when kids are old enough, they have the choice to go to summer camp, kind of that traditional summer church camp. Every kid in the program has multiple mentors. If they're in tutoring, they have a very special mentor that's just their very own. And then of course the hockey coaches are mentors, and of course all the staff are mentors too. We have a very high retention rate. Dynamite's high school graduation rate over 20 years is 85%. And over the last 5 years, 96% have graduated, which is really significant because right now Minneapolis Public Schools is reporting that their graduation rate is 53%. So that, I think, is another measure that shows that Dynamite is working. Being a faith-based organization, I think we're able to say things that are really powerful sometimes. We might say to the kids, like, we're gonna do some hard things today. And we want you to remember we can do all things through Christ who gives me strength. A few minutes later, we might be asking them to do that hard thing and you got heads down and panting. And remind them, remember, you have strength. God's given you the strength to do this. You have the strength that you need inside you right now. They might even remember the moments where they began to believe that, where they began to believe, I should be fearless. Only believe, do not fear.
It would break your heart to see what we pull out of here every day. We're out here 5 days a week, 8 hours a day, cleaning up the water.
Probably dump that, man.
You guys need some help?
Sure.
Yeah.
No way. JJ Watt. What's up, man?
How's it going?
I don't believe it. Good.
JJ, come on.
Thank you, sir.
Look,
Come
come
on.
on, man.
Isn't that for me?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir.
So what are you guys doing out here? What's the whole cleanup about?
Well, we're just doing the right thing. It's a kind of a thankless job. It's out of sight, out of mind. Somebody's got to do it.
What's the dream for the cleanup project?
You know, my dream is for people to think twice before they throw something out.
No problem, boys. I thought I was going to have to come over there and show you how to do it.
That's not going to smell good.
Not pleasant.
Great play, baby.
What would you do without these guys?
I would be in trouble. I don't know what I would do. These guys are everything to me.
You ever catch anything? Brackish waters up in here. I've caught castaneted shrimp. You eat them? No. It's been a good day, fellas. I appreciate you guys having me out here. It's eye-opening to see all the trash and everything that you guys pick up.
For me, it's really not just a job. You know, it's a passion.
I appreciate you having me out. You can swing a mean net, man.
Appreciate you helping us. It was a long, hot day.
You aren't kidding. It's hot. Talk about it. Yeah. The heat's a little different than it is on the field.
Welcome back here to the Plymouth Ice Center as we get ready for period number 2 between Cloquet-Esko-Carlton and Centennial. Let's get you caught up on the action you may have missed in the first period of play. It was A.J. Carls who had the first goal of the game for Centennial. That was with about 10 minutes left in the period, and that gave them the 1-0 lead. And then it was Christian Gallitz that made it a tie game with a power play goal for the Cloquet-Esko-Carlton Lumberjacks. And the shots in the first period were 15-8 in favor of the Lumberjacks. So this game is all tied up here for period number 2. Going to be an exciting finish here as well for this game. Still have 36 minutes of, or 34 minutes of hockey, but we're going to have a fun one for sure. So the teams will switch sides. Cloquet-Esko-Carlton will be in their purple uniforms right to left for this period, and Centennial will be in obviously their white and red jerseys. They'll be moving from left to right as they try and get something going here in the offensive zone. Up the boards now, but held on to for the stoppage by the Lumberjacks goalie Owen Carlson. We'll get the end of the first thing all squared away so that you have the proper time set up here. There is about 16:40 to go in period number 2. Now up the boards and a plate into the corner by the Cougars. Here's a shot that's turned aside. A nice job on the save there from Carlson. Connecting now up at center as here they come into the zone. Cougars off the wall, picked off by Moore and sent back around the other way by the Cougars. Now collected in. Gallitz holds it in the slot, shoots there, and that's a nice block as Centennial will move out the other way. Come the Cougars across the line. Ankrum around the outside, trying to throw it in front as it's whacked at here. Held out, though, by the Lumberjacks defense, and now moved out of the zone as Gallitz will play it forward. Here come the Lumberjacks into the zone. Crane to the corner now. Troge banks it off the boards and plays it to the other side. Gathered in by Crane again. In front, quick shot steered away once again by the goaltender Leo Troge. Cougars now moving out as they will back in it into the zone. No icing. Carlson will send it to the side and up the ice. Lumberjacks trying to move into the zone here again. Brockhouse leaves it off. Up the boards and chopped at here as Carls will play it. Here is the goal scorer, A.J. Carls for Centennial. Knocked off the puck. Lumberjacks play it. Carls will dish it off. Snapper there, blocked in behind the net. Backhanded out in front. Whacking away was Tommy Carls for the Centennial Cougars. Up at the line now, A.J. Carls dishes off to Danny Howell and into the corner. Quick snapper there from Thompson. Didn't get through the traffic. In the slot now, quick turnaround try. Save there, juicy rebound. Pops back to the point and goes to the corner for Thompson. Throws it back in. Thompson trying to move it on the forehand into the corner, and this one will go way out of the Centennial offensive zone. Troge will come way out to play it as they catch the Lumberjacks on a change. Here's Thompson, nice pass in the slot, and couldn't be fired towards the goal there by Cade Anderson, the Centennial forward. Quick moving action here in the second period as we're moving right along between Centennial and Cloquet-Esko-Carlton. Troge will stick it up ahead now for Novotny. Cougars play it out to center where it's picked off and fired off the boards. Banked up ahead, and now here is Novotny. One hand on the stick trying to cut inside, and this one blown dead by the officials as we get a little extra jabs here after the play had stopped. So we get really our first whistle of the period here. 13:39 to go in the second. Referee making sure both combatants in the face-off circle are ready to go. And now played out by the Lumberjacks. Here they come into the zone. Kyle Suter, quick snapshot, and Troge fights it off nicely there for the stoppage with 13:28 to play in the period. Shots on goal are almost even now as Centennial had that big push, and they are back to 16-14, still in favor of the Lumberjacks, but Cougars had a nice little spree there where they got about 5 or 6 shots on goal, so almost back even to that number. Now off the draw, played up along the wall as it's fired wide by Gallitz, and this one will skate out of the zone as it's bumped back into Centennial territory, high off the glass and down the ice. This will be an icing against the Cougars, so we'll go back down to their territory here. Other games on mnhockey.tv today. We've got over at the St. Louis Park Rec Center some good ones. Benilde St. Margaret's will be taking on Minnetonka at 5 o'clock. And then we'll have another good one tonight as well. Andover and Holy Family. And here tonight at the Plymouth Ice Center, we'll have Blake and Cretin-Derham Hall at 5, and then Wyzetta and Blaine at 7:30. Both of those, I think, will be good games. Cretin-Derham Hall and Blake have both won their first 2 games, and those are the only perfect matchup, so to speak, where both teams come in at 2-0 on the day. These 2 teams here are both 0-2, so trying to get in the win column for the first time in this tournament. Last day, though, in Plymouth as we get going. Off the draw. Now Gallitz in the corner as it's worked off there. And now it'll be moved free by the Centennial Cougars into the zone. O'Hara back behind the net. Move to the corner now. Good job by the Lumberjacks on defense. Now Bartle trying to move it towards the goal, but Christian Gallitz will swallow it up and take it up ahead. Outlet pass up ahead for Moore. Here's Moore with a snapper, and Troge fights it off as it goes to the corner. Now Troge will just hang on to it for the whistle. 12:19 to go in the second period. And looking at the other games, we talked about Blake and Cretin-Derham Hall at 5. That game is between 2 Section 6AA opponents, and they actually played each other last year in the section tournament in the quarterfinal round where Blake won 5-1 over Cretin. So a little bit of intrigue there, and when you talk about seedings and sections, this game that these 2 teams will play against each other could certainly come back up in conversation once we get to late February. Now moved up ahead for A.J. Carls. Carls holding on to it. Off a skate, follow-up try, swung wide of the net. Chopped that out of the zone by the Lumberjacks. Here's Durand. Nice speed, Durand on the backhand, and it goes to the corner. Not much on the shot there from Darian Durand. Now back to the other side as the Lumberjacks play it along the wall. Here's Utah trying to go to the circle and out of the zone, or not out of the zone as it's kept in by Suter. Now up ahead, long pass broken up at center by the Lumberjacks. That was Hunter Fanilla. No icing as it will be Peterson to play it, or Everson rather, for Centennial. Read the jersey wrong there. Carls trying to escort it out as now he finds A.J. Carls up along the wing. A.J. Carls pushed to the corner. Nice job defensively by the Lumberjacks as they come free with it now at center. Here's Suter into the zone, dishes it off. Nice pass, and Troge will just come out and play it with the glove here. 10:48 to go in period number 2. our first game of the day here was supposed to be between St. Michael Albertville and Hill Murray, but this is actually our first game here at the Plymouth Ice Center. That game got moved over to St. Louis Park on the East Rink. Those two teams are playing right now. And if you were out and about maybe this morning in the Twin Cities, you know how bad those roads were. It was just a disaster with all the ice that was out there. And from what I was told, Hill Murray had problems getting their bus to Plymouth, and that's a long drive over from Maplewood on the east side of the metro, so the Pioneers weren't able to make it up to Plymouth, and so St. Michael Albertville and Hill Murray are playing right now over at the East Rink in St. Louis Park, so a little bit shorter of a drive for Hill Murray as they were able to get there in time. Now here's Christian Gallitz into the zone for the Lumberjacks. Lost it between the wickets, and up the boards now for Centennial as they try and break it out. Long pass just missed. Fought off there by the goaltender. Now Moore trying to pick it up. Whacked up in the air as it goes off the glass. And flung out of there nicely by the Lumberjacks as they play forward. Nice job on the hustle by Gallett, slowing it down. Bumps it off the roll. Nice pass in front and blocked there by the Cougar defense. Gallett's whacking away, and now Centennial come free with it. 9:47 to go in the second period. We're still deadlocked at 1 here. Nobody has scored so far in this period, at least, as it will go back down low. Everson trying to collect it here. Everson around the outside, now up the boards. Chopped at and gloved down by the Cougars as they play it up. This one just misses the mark. So that will be an icing with 9:20 to go in the second stanza. 1-1 between Centennial and Cloquet-Esko-Carlton. See some of the Blake players checking out the action up along the boards as they get ready for their contest against Green-Darragh Hall today. That'll be at 5 o'clock. Yes, 5 o'clock here at the Plymouth Ice Center. 3:27 right now local time here in Plymouth. So about an hour and a half away from puck drop between Blake and Cretin-Derham Hall. $9:12 to go in the period. One back by the Lumberjacks, thrown towards the goal, and Leo Troge shuts the door there. Nice job with 9:09 to go. And Troge came out of the game yesterday after giving up 4 goals, and then Fuller came in, and then Troge went right back into the game. Kind of a weird scenario there for Centennial, but he is getting the start here in the 3rd straight game of this tournament. Pushed up along the wall, and a player goes down, and we're going to have a penalty called here. It will be a trip, and the Lumberjacks are going to go on the power play here. It will be actually maybe a hook here against Isaac Ankrum for Centennial, but he'll sit for 2 with 8:55 to go. And that will get the face-off in the offensive zone for the Lumberjacks, who scored a power play goal on their last turn. And they'll try and do so again here as they move it back to the point. At the line, held in. Big wind-up, and that one's blocked in front. There were all kinds of bodies surrounding that area. And now tripped up on the play was Pearson. Could have had a shorthanded rush had there not been that slowdown. Up the boards. And actually cross-check was the call, and offsides here against Cloquet, stopping the clock with 8:26 to go in the opening frame, or the second frame rather. Been a good one so far, Cloquet and Centennial. The scoring, it was started with A.J. Carls for the Cougars and then answered by Christian Gallitz late in the period. That was a power play goal for Centennial. as Gallitz tries to get another one here. Slowing it down as he moves it to the point. Right back, Gallitz will swing it across for Moore. Not much on the pass there from Moore. Goes back around to the other side. Gallitz will take a hold of it. Gallitz holding on. Wrist shot, not through the traffic as it was scooped up by Max Marshall and out of the zone. This was played by a high stick of Cloquet, so that will stop the clock with 7:55 to go. Exactly 1 minute remaining on the power play for the Lumberjacks. So halfway through the kill. Centennial with a quick snapper, and that one goes into the corner. This is an offensive zone possession here for Centennial because of that high stick that made the faceoff into the Cloquet zone. They will try and move it up here right in front of our ice mic. Played back here for the Lumberjacks as they move it up. Here they come into the zone. Across the line is House. House in front, whacking away. Puck is loose right there in the crease. And Troj is down in a scramble. Penalty coming up as the back official had his arms up right away. And now two players got tied up there. And let's see what we get for the penalty. The official was the one that had his arms up. Let's see the scramble again here. Nice job on the camera work there by David Hillen, our cameraman. And I'm trying to see if there's anything that was too severe. I didn't see anything specific, but it was a cross check, it looks like, right in front there, right there on Centennial. And you can see Centennial's number 3, James Novotny, getting a little bit too physical there. And that's where we have the extra penalty. So 5-on-3 to begin. As we'll have it for 20 seconds, and then it will be a power play, just a 5-on-4 for Cloquet-Esko-Carlton. So the Lumberjacks with some time to work with here on the 5-on-3. Big windup, pad save, Troj, rebound, and he fought it off and blown dead by the official. That puck was still clearly loose, and that's a tough break there. So 7:02 to go. Troj and the rest of the Cougars caught a break there for sure. Another face-off in the offensive zone for the Lumberjacks here on the 5-on-3. Off the draw, now down low into the corner. Nice work by Wistrasil. And now back to a 5-on-4 as Cloquet still has the power play. Loose in front, Moore trying to whack away. Now up top it goes. Across, down low, Moore. Not much on the shot at the back door, now gathered in by Christian Gallitz. Big staple hit. This one in front, loose, turnaround try. Troj fights it off and pounces on it for the rebound. Nice job hanging on, but extra pushing and shoving here from both of these teams as the physicality has started to ramp up here between the two teams. And of course, with this being a 1-1 game, the intensity is a little bit higher than it normally would be. So let's see. I don't think we're going to have any other penalties. We'll see.
25, sit down. 9, sit down. Sit down. Sit down, 9.
Wow, the official clearly telling to sit down here. Let's so we're going to have coincidental minor penalties.
Both minors for a rough. They wash.
Roughing minors for Cloquet and Centennial. That was after the whistle. So I think we're still going to have a 5-on-4 here. The coincidental minors will not be on the board. So still a power play for 112 for the Lumberjacks. And 6:32 to go in the period. They win it back as Crane sends it over Rister, and that one missed the net. I think Troge just got a piece of it. Now Crane back up top, loads it up, blocked. Follow-up try, and he lost the handle on his twig. Now back the other way as the Cougars will come across the line and taken away by the Lumberjacks. Here they come with speed. Here's Duran dropping it. Here's Gallitz. Shoots. Saved by Troge. Fighting it off. And now up along the wall as it's moved up by Centennial. Short-handed. Could they come the other way? Here is Pearson, and it's knocked off the tape there. That was actually Connor Thompson for Centennial. And now back to the point, but this one will come out of the zone. 27 to go now on the Cloquet power play. Cougars trying to make another short-handed rush out of the reach there. Centennial will make some changes as it's gathered behind the net by Duran. Here's Duran, got tied up. Nice keep by the Cougars in the offensive zone. Now moved out of there by Christian Gallitz. 4 to go on the power play. This will be an ice against Cloquet with 5:22 to go and 2 seconds on the power play. So that will go back to 5-on-5, and then those two players that had minor roughings, one each for each side, will get out at the next whistle after that 2-minute mark has been completed. So now back to full strength. Cougars have it with an extra player back out on the ice, trying to feed it in front, now wrapping around the outside. Nice feed to the point, saved by Carlson, and he'll hang on. That was a nice shot from Matt Everson at the point by the Cougars. 5:08 to go in the second period. Still 1-1. We haven't had a goal here yet in the period between these teams. Banked up out of the zone there by Mrozik, and Troge will come out to play it. Carls lets it go back and taking it at the far side boards by the Cougars. Here they come, trying to connect with Tommy Carls, as it will be played now down low by Hunter Fanilla. This one goes out of play. So a stoppage with 4:43 to go in the second. Again, Carls with the first goal of the game, and then Gallitz on the power play. That was the equalizer late in the first. So that's where we have our game right now. Nothing so far in the second period. Shots, though, have been dominated by the Lumberjacks, 29-15, and a penalty coming up. Back officials saw something, and was an interference called against number 10 on Cloquet, Jake Utah. See if we can catch that interference. That was right off the draw. Utah, the face-off man, and he just got a little bit too tied up, and not sure if that really warranted an interference call. But Utah going to sit now for 2 minutes for Cloquet, and that'll set up a power play for Centennial. 4:40 to go in the period. Off the draw, it'll go back around the outside as Carls tries to play it here along the boards. Banked up to the line, but not out as the Cougars keep it down low. Nice job on the tie-up by Cade Anderson, and now it's cleared down the ice as it will go for Leo Troge. Troge will just leave it at the circle here. And dished off by Wistrill for Carls. Tommy Carls now across the line for the Cougars with some space to work with in the corner as it's played out of the zone. Back down the other way, 1:16 to go on the power play for the Centennial Cougars. Flung off the boards. Gallitz and Carls colliding at the far side as it will be Wistrill for Centennial. Here they come again across the line. 55 to go on the power play. Nice move inside, and they score! Power play goal for the Centennial Cougars, and they now lead this game 2-1.
11 from 19. 11 from 19.
You hear the scoring summary there. That was a nice move by Henry Bartle. So you watch it again on a replay. Bartle coming in And the assist will go to Mason Wistersill right there. So, power play goal for the Cougars. And they scored the first goal of this game as well. So back in front now by a score of 2-1. Now here come the Lumberjacks trying to press back. Fought off there, or missed the net rather, as it's pushed into the zone again by Jordan Newpower. Left off in the corner and now taken by the Lumberjacks. Here they come, nice move inside to the lane. And fought off there by Troge for another whistle with 3:03 to go in the period. So that is our first goal after about almost a full 17 minutes of game action without a goal. And we'll have another face-off here in the offensive zone for Cloquet. They had a goal to make it a tie game on the power play late in the first, and we'll see if they can get something here to maybe equalize it before the end of the second. Nice job by O'Hara. Here he comes across the line. O'Hara dishes it off and missed the net on the shot attempt, as Bartle was looking for another goal there for the Cougars. Now here come the Lumberjacks across the line. Moore trying to go to the front of the net as he took down a man. And here's Christian Gallitz for the Lumberjacks, trying to throw it towards the front of the net there. And it moved out of the zone by the Cougars. 2:25 to go in the second period between these teams. Pearson behind the net, throws it to the slot. Bartle leaves it off, save there, and the rebound just goes into the midsection there of Carlson as it is stopped with 2:12 on the clock. Again, next game, Blake and Cretin-Derham Hall coming up here at 5 o'clock from the Plymouth Ice Center, and also at 5 on MNHockey.tv. We'll have Minnetonka and Benilde St. Margaret's over at the St. Louis Park Rec Center. Then at 6 tonight, it's Breck and Edina in the Girls Walser Invitational Championship. The two teams that won their class last year for girls, Breck in A, Edina in AA, is facing off for the second time this year. A lot more on the line, though, this time, as Breck and Edina will face. That will be at 6 o'clock here at Braemar Arena in Edina, as the Hornets are the host of the Walser Invitational Championship. They got knocked out last year by Breck in the semifinals, and they will play them in the championship. Lumberjacks move it out, 1:32 to go in the period. Tracked down by Everson as he comes up the ice with speed. Everson dishes off, nice pass. Carl's in the slot right there at the back door, and Carlson fights it off. Now again sticked away. Carlson the save, rebound, blocked, and the net will come off its moorings here and held on to for a whistle with 1:13 to go in the second period. So stopped for the whistle. Net came off. They'll get everything all squared away here. And they will say that the faceoff is outside of the zone because the net came off. So that's where we'll have it. Shots on goal are 30-20 in favor of the Lumberjacks. Looks like everything's all set behind Owen Carlson, and we'll get ready to resume play here at the Plymouth Ice Center. Off the draw. Nice tape-to-tape pass here for Brock House. Troge will just dish it off, gave it away in front, and nice job by the Cougars in the slot. Korkowski was the one that was able to send it down the ice. And that was a dangerous play, and see if we can get this one maybe on replay here. Take a look at Leo Troge behind the net, and that was just a giveaway right there behind the net, and you see the desperation effort to try and get back in position. with 55 to go in the period. Quick snapper over the top into the netting out of play. 52.2 in the period to go. This has been a fun game. Centennial on top 2-1 despite the 3-2 shots advantage. 30-20 really, but 3-2 advantage in shots by the Lumberjacks of Cloquet-Esko-Carlton. Up and out of the zone. This will not be an icing as the officials wave it off. Now a big hit there as the Lumberjacks, Cade Anderson took the blunt of that hit. Anderson trying to go back to the boards now as it's dug out. Backhanded pass up ahead for Christian Gallitz. Now Gallitz will play it up ahead. That one bouncing off the stick of a defenseman, and Gallitz tangled up. No call though, as they say he was just avoiding the hit. Icing against Cloquet, and back down to their end with 12.8 to go. So one last offensive zone of face-off. And this will be Centennial's chance to try and make it a 2-goal game, something that they have not had a lot of in the game so far. Now fired to the corner. 7 to go in the period. New Power in front. Nice pass. And they score! Centennial makes it 3-1. That was actually Connor Thompson on the feed in front of the net, and Carls buries it for the goal.
23 alone.
So they say no assist. Oh, this is the wrong clip here. Get you back out to the replay of this goal here in front of the net. As you see, it was a giveaway in front and buried by Carls for the second time here in this game. And that will do it. Centennial has a 3-1 lead entering the final period as A.J. Carls gets the goal with 3.2 to go on the clock. So unassisted on the goal from Carls, and that will leave it at that for the second period. So 3-1 lead, Centennial over Cloquet-Esko-Carlton, as we'll go into the third period with a 3-1 lead for Centennial. Thanks for joining us here at the Plymouth Ice Center. MNHockey.tv's coverage of the tradition at the PIC Tournament continues. When we come back, Centennial on top 3-1.
I think that being in a sport, it has built into it the concept that we are going to face a challenge. When we do sport the right way, we are teaching values. We're teaching kids how to be hard workers. We're teaching kids how to be courageous, to be fearless. Dynamite's, because we have a focus on whole life youth development, physical, academic, social and spiritual excellence, we get that we're trying to develop people to be whole people. And I think that when you combine that mission with sport, I think you naturally get that. We have programs in each of those 4 areas. We have ice hockey for physical excellence. Academic excellence includes academic support like one-on-one tutoring. We have a summer academic camp. Social excellence includes our big community service project, Greg Carroll Learn to Skate, and also we're faith-based. So when kids are old enough, they have the choice to go to summer camp, kind of that traditional summer church camp. Every kid in the program has multiple mentors. If they're in tutoring, they have a very special mentor that's just their very own. And then of course the hockey coaches are mentors, and of course all the staff are mentors too. So we have a very high retention rate. Dynamite's high school graduation rate over 20 years is 85%. And over the last 5 years, 96% have graduated, which is really significant because right now Minneapolis Public Schools is reporting that their graduation rate is 53%. So that, I think, is another measure that shows that Dynamite is working. Being a faith-based organization, I think we're able to say things that are really powerful sometimes. You might say to the kids, like, we're gonna do some hard things today, and we want you to remember we can do all things through Christ who gives me strength. A few minutes later, we might be asking them to do that hard thing, and you got heads down and panting, and remind them, remember, you have strength. God's given you the strength to do this. You have the strength that you need inside you right now. They might even remember the moments where they began to believe that, where they began to believe, I should be fearless. Only believe and not fear.
It would break your heart to see what we pull out of here every day. We're out here 5 days a week, 8 hours a day, cleaning up the water.
Probably dump that, man.
You guys need some help?
Sure.
Yeah.
No way. JJ, what?
What's up, man? How's it going?
I don't believe it.
JJ, come on.
Thank you, sir.
Welcome aboard, baby.
Isn't that for me?
Yes, sir.
Sure. So what are you guys doing out here? What's the whole cleanup about?
Well, we're just doing the right thing. It's a kind of a thankless job. It's out of sight, out of mind. Somebody's got to do it.
What's the dream for the cleanup project?
You know, my dream is for people to think twice before they throw something out.
No problem, boys. I thought I was gonna have to come over there and show you how to do it.
That's not going to smell good.
Not pleasant. Great play, baby.
What would you do without these guys?
I would be in trouble. I don't know what I would do. Well, these guys are everything to me.
You ever catch anything? Brackish waters up in here? I've caught castaneted shrimp. You eat them? No. It's been a good day, fellas. I appreciate you guys having me out here. It's eye-opening to see all the trash and everything that you guys pick up.
For me, it's really not just a job. You know, it's a passion.
I appreciate you having me out. You can swing a mean net, man.
Appreciate you helping us. It was a long, hot day.
You aren't kidding. It's hot. Talk about it. Yeah. The heat's a little different than it is on the field.
Welcome back to the Plymouth Ice Center here in Plymouth, Minnesota. Centennial and Cloquet-Esko-Carlton in a good game here so far, but Centennial with the difference makers in the second period. As we take a quick look at the second period to recap, it was a goal from Henry Bartle on the power play that put Centennial up with about 3 minutes remaining in the period. And then A.J. Carls got the insurance goal with 3 seconds left in the period. And that is where we stand right now, 3-1 in favor of Centennial. The shots through 2 periods are 30-21 in favor of the Lumberjacks, despite the fact that they trail this game 3-1. So the Lumberjacks have been out of luck, really, with Leo Trojan net as we get ready to go here for our our third and final period here of game number 1, day number 3 at the Plymouth Ice Center. Here's a shot that goes off the boards. And third period underway. Around to the outside now. Good work and kept in for a moment, but Gallitz will come back to play it at center. Christian Gallitz now just is off on the side. Played up along the wall and into the zone now as the Cougars will dish it back off. Into the corner. Held onto by the Lumberjacks. That shot from Moore was blocked. Moore with a nice maneuver there on the backhand. Pad save and the rebound scooped down the ice. This will be an icing against the Cougars rather. So we'll go back down to their end. 16:08 to go in the third period. Again, a reminder, 2 more games coming up today at the Plymouth Ice Center. Blake and Cretin-Derham Hall coming up next at 5 o'clock, a little bit under an hour from that game. And then it will be our nightcap of Wayzata, the host of this tournament here in Plymouth, taking on Blaine. So thanks to all the folks at Wayzata and the Plymouth Ice Center that have put this event on this weekend. It's been a really, really fun event, and we'll have a good game tonight, I think, to close it out. Wayzata really hot right now. They are unbeaten in 8 straight after starting the year 0-3. So the Trojans looking to keep the momentum rolling here. But tell you what, our MNHockey.tv Boys AA Power Rankings are going to be quite the mess, as teams have been losing games they shouldn't have and winning games they shouldn't have. And it's really going to be interesting to see how everything shapes up here as our staff will take a look at those and evaluate the top 10 coming up, and those rankings will be released on Monday. We'll have the boys AA, and then we'll have boys single A, girls AA, and also boys for AA and A. Then we'll also have AA and A for the girls as well. So those will be released on Monday on our Twitter page, and we'll make sure to update our website as well with those power rankings. Meanwhile, the Lumberjacks trying to get it off the face-off in the offensive zone, but it's flipped up out to neutral ice, where it's taken by Christian Gallitz. He'll slow things down and go up ahead as he tried to find Anderson there for the Lumberjacks, but now back for Gallitz as he backhands it into the zone, gave it right away. And Centennial having a hard time clearing it out as it was miscued there by Mason Wistersill. He's got an assist on the 3rd Centennial goal that was scored by Henry Bartle. Stick to the corner now. And giveaway in front as it sailed high over the top of the net. Carlson was ready for it. And we'll go back down to the other end. Actually, I'm looking at the Cloquet net, and it looks like they've put Jacob Walsh in to the goal for the Lumberjacks. So Walsh is taking over, it looks like, to start the third period. It's a little surprising to me, but we'll see what we get. Across the line now, Van Tassel tips it into the zone and backhanded up the wall as it's played up ahead by Gallitz for the Lumberjacks. Nice move, makes a man fall. Gallitz shoots, and that's blocked. Stepped up in the slot there by Isaac Ankrum. Now Ankrum will push it up ahead for the Cougars. Missed on the pass and it will go for an icing with 14:08 to go in the third period. Centennial on top 3-1. They had the first goal of the game and goals number 3 and 4 here on the day as well. Cloquet equaled it at 1 on the power play. But it's been all Centennial since, and Cloquet has not scored for well over a period now. Now off the face-off, shot there was blocked, and it'll come out of the zone. Delayed offsides as the Lumberjacks will tag up. Tried to be played there in the corner, but nearly give away. Good forecheck pressure here from the Lumberjacks. Now here comes Blaine across the line. Or excuse me, Centennial. Getting already mixed up, thinking about Blaine and Wyzetta tonight, which will be a good game. Centennial back behind the net as Troj will let it bounce. Gave it away though. Here's a shot on goal, turned aside, and kept in at the line by the skate of Hunter Fanilla. Now up around the boards, fired back in by the Lumberjacks. This is the Hunter Fanilla and Caden Crane defense line out there. And now Fanilla's shot scooped up, or Kane's shot rather, scooped up and held for the whistle. 13:15 to go in the third. 33-22 are the shots in favor of the Lumberjacks, but they trail this game 3-1. We'll wait for the face-off, and now we get it as it's bumped back behind the Centennial net. Trying to move up now are the Cougars. Intercepted at the line and fired back in. And Troj tried to cut it off, but instead he'll just leave it for his defenseman. Up along the boards, Korkowski able to swing it up the ice as here they come across the line. Thompson, as they just stay onside. Thompson around the outside. Missed the pass, and that will go back down for Cloquet in the offensive zone. Darian Durand is the one to chase it down. Right out in front, just missed the tape. And it will go back down to Cloquet territory, where it will be Jacob Walsh to cut it off. Now Durand, or rather Gallitz, across the line. And here they come into the zone. Gallitz trying to get onto it, and Troj will just stick the mid out and make the stop. 12:17 to go in the third. A little bit under an hour away from our next game, Blake and Cretin-Derham Hall. And those two teams will start at 5 o'clock. That is a Section 6AA game, Blake and Cretin-Derham Hall. Both projected to be pretty high seeds in that section. And of course you have Edina and Benilde St. Margaret's, Wyzetta in there as well. That is going to be a really fun section. Right now the team that's probably the favorite is probably the Cretin-Derham Hall Raiders, just based on the fact that they've been so hot lately. 8-0 in their last 8. And Edina has not been off to a great start this year, but they're always a tough team. And here's a shot by Gallitz, and it goes into the back of the net. Christian Gallitz makes it
7-9.
3-2. And let's watch this on replay here on the goal from Gallitz. That's his second of the game. He's had a good tournament for Cloquet. A lone assist going to Aaron Moore there. So Centennial gives up a goal, and now they only have the 1-goal lead here with 11:40 to go in the third, making things interesting for the Lumberjacks as we move forward. Now here's Moore. Across the line, 2-on-2 into the zone. Big snapper, missed the mark wide. So it's played back behind the net now with 11:23 to go in the period as we'll get our clock back adjusted to the correct time. Lumberjacks keep the zone. That one deflected wide by Moore and played up out of the zone by the Cougars. Here they come across the line. Drop pass in the slot. We're trying to find Jordan Newpower there, but Cloquet will reverse it into the zone. Nice maneuver and fought off there. Up the wall, Wistrel trying to clear it, can't do so, and held on to a stoppage here. 10:53 to go. So Cloquet got the game tied up at 1 in the first. But then Centennial scored 2 in a row to make it 3-1. And the Lumberjacks have another one here from Christian Gallitz to make it 3-2. Up the boards now. Cougars trying to clear it. Long shot from Cade Anderson, misses the mark. Now taken a hold of, and a quick one into the glove of the goaltender Leo Troj. 10:39 to go in the third. And again, more action tonight on MNHockey.tv. We've got a lot of games today. 9 of them. We're going to have about 3 or 4 done here after this one gets done. But last game of the night, 7:30, Wayzata Blaine. Also at that time will be Andover and Holy Family. So some good ones here today on MNHockey.tv. You can find Wayzata Blaine right here at the Plymouth Ice Center. Here's a nice shot fought off by Walsh back behind the net. And a big hit along the corner. That will get a stoppage for a penalty. This one will be against the Lumberjacks, I believe, for interference. And so Cougars will have a power play try here, it looks like. Jake Utah going back to the box. He's been a frequent customer here today for Cloquet. And he will sit for 2. Chance for the Cougars to get an insurance goal back here with 10:19 to go in the period. Back up to the point now. Held at the top of the circle. Wrist shot, stick save by Carlson. As it's played back up to the point, Tommy Carls thought about loading it up. Now back to Carls. Snaps it. Blocked in front by Moore. Nice job standing tall. Wistersill back over as he finds Henry Bartle. Bartle back to Wistersill. And Bartle down low into the corner for O'Hara. Now Bartle and Wistersill at the point. Moves it over. Carl shoots. Blocked in front by Hunter Fanilla. And the Cougars still have it. Tommy Carls dishes it over on the left side. Back up to the point. Wistersill blocker save. Rebound and scooted to the corner by the Cloquet defense. Dangerous handling of the puck there by Walsh. And good hustle by Moore to track it down. Here's Moore skating around the outside for the Lumberjacks as he gets laid out. And that's a penalty interference call here. And we are going to play 4-on-4. Again, as the referees call it interference. 58 on the penalty. Not really sure if I agree with that call, but I think he was just finishing his check there. And the Centennial coaching staff is obviously not very happy with the officiating in this game. So 4-on-4 for 58 seconds, and then will be a brief penalty, or a power play rather, for Cloquet-Esko-Carlton, as there's a tie-up behind the net, resulting in that puck being picked up by Pearson. Now gave it away at the line. Into the zone, Bartle goes off for interference for Centennial. 4-on-4, so some open ice to work with here for both these teams. Into the Cloquet offensive corner now, as it's dug out by the Cougars. Dump back into the zone, as this will be an ice here by the Lumberjacks, so back down to the other end. And it'll be a face-off here in the offensive zone for Centennial, with 8:42 to go in the period. So 3-2 game. Centennial will have a penalty kill here in 23 seconds once the Lumberjacks will come out of the box. Here they come up the ice. Anderson looking for an outlet pass, and he missed the mark. And stick to the corner by Troj. Gallitz in front, nice pass, and it was lost in the wickets into the corner, as the Lumberjacks nearly tied the game. Nice play in front as now they'll go back down low. Moore, now we're back to a power play in front. Great save, and it's fired high by Moore. Boy, the Lumberjacks are buzzing here in the offensive zone. Now with some power play time. Shot there, tipped in into the glove of Troge to stop it with 8:04 to go. Great opportunities for Cloquet-Esko-Carlton to try and even this game up here. As they trailed at one point 3-1, now back to 3-2. Centennial in yesterday's game against Blake, they were down 5-1 and made it 5-4, but then Blake scored 3 unanswered in the third to win 8-4. Here's a one-timer, and that one's launched off the glass. That had some muscle on it from Cade Anderson. Now Gallitz will poke it down low into the corner. Played here behind the net by Moore as he tries to force it to the other side. Jake Utah takes down a man. Moore picks it up, tries to move it for Gallitz as he gets knocked down to the ice, and that stops it with 7:39 to go. And 23 on the Centennial power play. So one last chance here for the Cougars to try and kill this penalty off, or better put, the Lumberjacks try and get a power play goal. Chopped at and up the boards, but kept in at the line. Here is Gallitz. Nice pass, they score! Tie game as the Lumberjacks have come back to tie it. How about that feed from Christian Gallitz and the finish for Cloquet as they now have this game equaled up. Watch this on the replay.
10-7-17, 10-7-17.
Beautiful feed from Gallitz, who gets the primary assist. And the goal, of course, will go to Jake Utah. As now Cloquet is back to a tie game here for the first time since this game was 1-1 back in the first period. And so, big goal by Jake Utah, as this will go back down behind the Cloquet net. Up along the boards now. This one will scoot past the Centennial defense as it was Borkowski that couldn't hold it. Now the Cougars look to move up ice into the zone as this one's off the wall, picked up here by the Cougars, down into the corner. Bartle, turnaround try, broken up, and now moved up out of the zone. Here come the Lumberjacks into the zone. Dished off into the corner. Whacking away there is Duran. And it'll go back behind the Centennial net and be played up the boards. So the Lumberjacks have tied the game here in the third period and now trying to get that go-ahead goal as they take possession with 6:30 to go in the third period. Up by Moore. Now here's Gallitz working in. Nice move. One hand on the stick, but ran out of real estate there back behind the goal. And Moore got hooked up with a player there, but no penalty called against him. And so it'll be played now by Christian Gallitz right at the Cloquet blue line. Long pass up ahead as Cade Anderson takes it into the zone. Thrown back around to the other side. Good hustle here from Baker to try and get it. Troge will stick it into the corner. And now New Power tries to move it up, or Thompson rather, for the Cougars. Off a skate, delayed offsides. And so Lumberjacks will tag up on the delayed offside. Banked off the glass. Carls couldn't keep it. Pass intercepted by Tommy Carlson. Now at the line, here come the Lumberjacks into the zone. Suter winds it up. Save by Troge. Rebound off the post. And now a scramble for it as it's held on to. And that one got interesting, and we will definitely have to take a look at this one on replay. A weird sequence of events here as you see into the zone, the wind-up, and Troge juggled the rebound, and then the follow-up try went off the post. So, wow. Very interesting situation as this game remains tied at 3-3 with 5:26 to go. We're getting towards the next goal wins kind of stage here in the next few minutes, and we'll see if any of these teams in a few minutes or so decide to call a timeout or not. But in the meantime, we play on. Held in at the line, redirected just wide. And played back behind the Centennial goal by number 19 for Mason Wistrell. For the Cougars, that's Mason Wistrell. Outlet pass up ahead. Here's New Power. New Power tried to throw it to the back door, but nobody was home. Now kept in at the line. Nice job by the Lumberjacks as they force it out to center. And they have Centennial flat-footed a little bit there for a minute. New Power leaves it. Novotny's shot sticked away by Walsh into the corner. And now up the boards. Lumberjacks move it just out of the reach there of Brockhouse, but this will not be an icing as we play on. 4:36 now to go in the third. Tie game between Centennial and Cloquet-Esko-Carlton. Nice pass from Gallitz. Here's Moore with a nice maneuver. Moore hooked on the play and gloved by Troge as he tumbled to the ice, probably wanting a penalty there was Moore, but whistle blown. 4:24 to go in the third period. What a game this has been. Looked like Centennial was in the driver's seat, but Cloquet has tied it here with 2 goals in the third. Off the draw, shot by Anderson, and Troge takes a hold of it for the whistle. 4:18 to go in the third. So now down to the same face-off dot we were just in a few moments ago. And we'll see what we can get here on this face-off offensive zone for Cloquet. Here's Gallitz, picks it up and rings it off the iron and out of play with 4:13. Boy, this has been a lot of shots on goal here for the Lumberjacks. 47 and just 26 for Centennial, and that tells you how many more opportunities this team has had other than Centennial. Off the draw now, taken a hold of by the Cougars. Here they come up the ice. Good speed into the zone now by Korkowski. Dishes it deep. Korkowski into the corner. Back now behind the net. Played in the slot by the Cougars, but Gallitz will take a hold of it and send it up the ice. Forced down into the corner by Baker. I'll tell you what, Christian Gallitz has had a ton of ice time here today, and especially these final few minutes by the Lumberjacks as they are trying to get their best player to be out on the ice when they need him the most. Back behind the Cloquet net as Walsh will let it be for a teammate. Now played up ahead. Here comes Brockhouse into the zone. House fanning on the shot, plays it to the back door, but tied up on the far side was Marshall, or Hutah rather. Here's the shot blocked in front. Follow-up try off the skates and the wickets there. And now the Cougars will flip it up and into the neutral zone as Crane will play it there for a moment. Now tied up. O'Hara banks it off the boards. Carlson, wow, big hit there as it was played up through center. And now gathered in by Tommy Carls. Under 3 to play in the third period as there's 2:49 to go in the frame as we get the clock adjusted here for you on the broadcast. Now banked up off the boards and played out of the zone. At the line, chopped at and taken a hold of by the Cougars. Here they come across the line. Nice move. And it's off the bar. Rebound sitting there in the slot and dug out by the Lumberjacks, now back the other way. Boy, what a chance that would have been. Christian Gallitz into the zone. Follow-up try, missed the net on the shot from Sam Baker. And we've had both teams hit the iron here in the final few minutes. This will be an icing against the Cougars, and we might get a timeout here from one of these teams. We'll see here with 2:12 to go. And I think we'll just play on for now here. With 2:12 to go, 3-3 shots on goal are 47 to 27 in favor of Cloquet. Off the draw, Lumberjacks trying to chop at it, but Centennial takes a hold of it now on the outlet pass up ahead. Dumped into the zone off the stick of Marshall, who is crunched along the wall. Gallett's trying to gain the inside edge there as it's bumped up out to the boards. Baker will play it off the glass. This will be no ice, not enough juice on it as it's taken a hold of now by the Cougars. 1 of 43 to go in regulation, and if we don't get any goal in that time, then we'll go to a 8-minute overtime period. Here's Utah, connects on the outlet pass up ahead. Baker into the zone as it's forced down low and into the corner. Brock House back behind the net, and it will go to the boards for Utah. Up along the wall, now finally taken a hold of by the Cougars as they move it out. Nice pass up ahead. Fired into the zone by Van Tassel as that misses Walsh wide of the mark. Now 1:10 to go in the period, bumped up the wall, and the Lumberjacks will move it up ahead. A nice pass for House. Now Brock House into the zone, and it played here to the corner, and a good opportunity back behind the net for a moment, but played up out of the zone with 54 to go. Here come the Cougars across the line, 3-on-2, drop pass in the slot. Wrister there, fanned on in front, or it looked like it got blocked actually, as it's Duran now out the other way, up along the line, and this one will be played by the Cougars in their own end. 38 to go in regulation. Up the boards now, played out by Cloquet as they fire it off the boards. Christian Galletz takes advantage of the open space. Here's Galletz across the line, shoots, loads it up, it's blocked in the slots, and the Cougars will take it back. 21 now to go in the third period. One last chance for the Cougars. You can tell this line is out of gas, but Pearson trying to cash in. Carl's had it mishandled at the line, and now back to neutral ice. 10 to go in regulation as it will be played here by Anderson. 3 to go, 2-1, and that will do it. We are going to go to overtime here at the Plymouth Ice Center as it is a 3-3 tie between Cloquet-Esko-Carlton and Centennial. So good job by the Lumberjacks getting the game tied up at 3. And we'll step aside here for just a minute. Cloquet-Esko-Carlton and Centennial going to overtime, tied at 3. Welcome back, Plymouth Ice Center, our site, as we get ready for overtime between Centennial and Cloquet-Esko-Carlton. This is our first game of the day and our first overtime since day one when Hill Murray and Wayzata played. That was Wayzata that came away with the overtime victory 4-3 over the Hill Murray Pioneers. So we may get a winner tonight, we may not. We'll find out here in just a few moments, but 8 minutes of sudden death overtime, and then if we do not get a goal during that 8-minute stretch, we will just have a tie between these two teams. So both of these teams desperate to try and get back in the win column, and we'll need 8 extra minutes to decide this one here today. Across the line now, Cougars trying to enter the zone. This one steered away by Walsh into the corner. Now rolling around out in the slot areas, the Lumberjacks gather it up and play it up ahead. Here's Moore across the line. Aaron Moore trying to cut inside, tied up, and fights it off back behind the net. And look out, this one into the Cloquet bench, as that stops the clock with 7:29 to go in overtime. So looking at these teams and overtime for them this year, Centennial has played in 2 overtime games. They are 1-1. They beat Elk River 2-1 in overtime and then lost to Maple Grove 3-2. And then meanwhile for Cloquet, they've also played 2 overtime games. They tied Chaska and then beat Duluth East 5-4. So nobody has not lost, or we've had a 0-1-1 record and then a 1-1 record here for these teams. Now down low into the corner, picked up behind the net, wraparound try, didn't work there. And so Centennial will move up the other way with speed. Here's Tommy Carls. Carls shoots, pad save, picks up his own rebound. Around the outside now, Tommy Carls, as it's played up out of the zone. And now Centennial will pick it up again. Tommy Carls has it as he moves it to A.J. Carls. Back to Tommy, trying to pull the trigger there in the slot, but hounded there by a couple of defensemen. And now spinning away from the pressure is Anderson. Jammed up in his own end here as it's moved up now by the Lumberjacks. Across the line, 1-touch pass for Brock House. Takes a ride up along the boards, and in there was Danny Howell. Carls trying to play it up ahead, but picked off at the line. Nice job on the crunching hit there. Howell and Carls will play it right into the zone for Cloquet. Dropped off here. Nice pass. Here's Carls. Save on the glove by the goaltender, Jacob Walsh. What a stop that was. And we will watch it one more time here on the replay. Nice job shutting it down and keeping this game equalized at 3 apiece as you get a look there on the replay. Nice job by Walsh, who came in later in this game, didn't get the start. Here's the snapper. That one missed the mark. And now up the boards it will come as it's taken by the Lumberjacks, trying to move out of their defensive end, but good forecheck here from the Cougars. Now Gallett's trying to force it up the boards, and it will now go back up ahead for Moore. Had it bounce off his skate as he jumps on that loose puck. Played in front of the Cloquet bench. Into the zone comes Gallett's. Here's Gallett's nice move, trying to get it into the net as Troj has to go back. Wraparound try, scores! Christian Gallett's overtime winner as he gets the hat trick, and the Cloquet-Esko-Carlton Lumberjacks are going to walk off winners here.
7 from 9.
Watch this replay. Christian Gallett's around the outside, and Troj was out of position, and he cashes in to win it in overtime for the Cloquet-Esko-Carlton Lumberjacks, who will go back up north with 1 victory, as it's a big one over Centennial here today, 4-3. So Christian Gallett's gets the hat trick, and Cloquet-Esko-Carlton wins it in overtime, 4-3. Thanks for joining us here at the Plymouth Ice Center. We'll be back in about 25 minutes for Blake and Cretin-Derham Hall as we continue on with the tradition at the PIC Tournament. Final score in overtime, Cloquet-Esko-Carlton 4 and Centennial 3. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time.